A very good morning to all of you. This is your mathematics class, and today we are going to start a new chapter, that is chapter number 6, squares and square roots. So before starting the chapter, we will learn about some basic concepts of squares and square roots. So firstly, we will start with squares. Basically, square of a number is the product of the number with the number itself. Means suppose if you have 2 and the square of 2 is, and the square, this is the square of 2, it can be written as 2 multiplied by 2, that is equal to 4. Means the number is multiplied by itself. This is the square of that number. So this is the square of a number. The next term is perfect square. So the perfect square is when the exponent, or you can say power, of a natural number is 2. The number so obtained is called a square number, or you can say that this is the perfect square. For the perfect square, the example is same. You can take the next example. If you have 3 square, then it can be written as 3 multiplied by 3, which is equal to 9. So 9 is the perfect square of 3. So this is the perfect square. Now let us see when how we can find whether a number is a perfect square or not. So for this, there is a question, and it is the 441. So we need to find that whether this number is a perfect square or not. To find the number is a perfect square or not, first for this, the first step is write the prime factorization of the given number. You can see that here the number is 441 given. You will do the prime factorization of 441. I hope all of you are familiar about prime factorization. If you don't know the prime factorization, then you can message me. I will the next step is group the prime factors in such a way that in each pair both the factors are the same. Means here is 3 and 3 are the pairs, 7 and 7 are the pairs. These are the, and 3 into 3 into 7 into 7. This is the group of the prime factors, and we can see that these are making a pair. See, 3 is making a pair, also 7 is making a pair, and both are the same. So here is 3 is a pair and 7 is a pair, and it is complete. So we can say that 441 is the perfect square. Now if no factor is left over after grouping, the number is a perfect square. But if any number or numbers are left whose grouping is not possible, then the number is not a perfect square. I hope all of you understand the term perfect square. Now we will learn about some properties of the squares and square roots. This will help to solve the exercise. This will help you to solve the exercise. Here you can see that first property is saying that no perfect square will end with 2, 3, 7 or 8 at the unit place. Means if you have the numbers 2, 3, 7 or 8 at the unit place of a number, then it will not be a perfect square. See the example here, 33. As you know that 33 is not a perfect square. You can do the prime factorization of the 33, that is 3, 11 and 11. It is not making the pair, so it is not a perfect square. Similarly 217 is also not a perfect square. 538, after doing the prime factorization of 538, you will find that it is also not a perfect square. The next is 2222. You can do the prime factorization of 2222. You will get you will find that there is no means it is not a perfect square. Now see 33, it contains 3 at the unit place. 217, it contains 7 at the unit place. 538, it contains 8 at the unit place, and 2222, it contains 2 at the unit place, and these are not the perfect square, which was saying the property number 1. So by this method you can find the perfect square, whether the number is a perfect square or not. You can find it verbally. The next is a number having 0, 1, 4, 5, 6 and 9 in the unit place may or may not be a perfect square. Means if any number contains any of these digits, it may or may not be a perfect square. Means it may be a perfect square or it may not be a perfect square. For this you can see the example. In 81, it has 1 at the unit place. See, 1 at the unit place, but we know that 81 is a perfect square of 9, because 9 nines are 81. 81 is the perfect square of 9, so it is a so it is a perfect square, while even it containing 1 at the unit place. But 91 is not a perfect square. You can do the prime factorization of 91, you will find that it is not a perfect square, and the prime factorization means grouping of prime factorization will not make any pair, and it is not a perfect square even it is containing 1 at the unit place. The next is 444. Also this is the perfect square. 1200 means 1225, it is also a perfect square. You can do the prime factorization of all these numbers, and you will find that these numbers are the perfect square and these numbers are not the perfect square. Even these are containing the containing number of the out of these numbers. So a number having 0, 1, 4, 5, 6 and 9 in the unit place may or may not be a perfect square. Let us move towards the next property, which is property number 2. It is saying that if a number has 1 or 9 at the unit place, then its square ends with 1. Means if a number is containing 1 or 9 at the unit place, then its square ends with 1. You can see the example here. 11, the square of 11 is 121. You can multiply 11 and 11, you will get 121. Now you can see that 11 is containing 1 in the unit place. Also 121 is containing 1 at the unit place. Similarly, you can means you know that square of 9 is 81. It is 9, means at the unit place here is 9, and in the answer 1 is in the unit place. That is the square of 9, which is the square of 9. Similarly, in 19, 9 is at the unit place, and the square of 19 is 361. It is containing 1 at the unit place. The next is 21 whole square, and the square of 21 is 441. 21 is containing 1 in the unit place, and 441 is containing 1 at the unit place. So the property number 2 is the right, that is saying if a number has 1 or 9 at the unit place, then its squares ends with 1, as you can see in the examples. You can take any another example, you will get the same. Let us move towards the next property. that is saying the square of a number which has 4 or 6 at the unit place will end in 6. Means if there is a number which is containing 4 or 6 at the unit place, then the square of the number will end in 6. You can see the example 14. 14 is the number and the square of 14 is 196. 14 is containing 4 in the unit place and 196 occurs 6 in the unit place. Similarly, 16 whole square means 16 square of 16 is 256. 16 holds 6 in the unit place as the property is saying, and the square of the 16, that is 256, is holding 6 in the unit place as the property is saying. That square of a number which has 4 or 6 at the unit place will end 6. Okay, let us move towards the next property, which is property number 3. And this property is saying that a number ending in an odd number of zeros is never a perfect square. Means if there is a number is ending, that is ending with odd number of zeros, then it can never be a perfect square. See the example. Here is 50 50 50. Here you can see that 0, only one 0 in the unit place, means at the end of this number here is only 1 0 and 1 is an odd number. 1 0 means 1 is odd number. It means it is containing odd number of zeros, so it will not be a perfect square. If you will do the prime factorization of this number, you will find that it is not a perfect square. The next example is 33,000. Now count the number of zeros 1 2 3. Here are 3 zeros at the end of this number, and as we know that 3 is an odd number, so the number of zeros are odd. If you will do the prime factorization of this number, you will find that it is also not a perfect square. So property third is a number ending in an odd number of zeros is never a perfect square. Listen, these properties are very beneficial for you. These properties will help you to solve the questions verbally and in less time. So please memorize, means learn these properties, and please be careful about this video and try to learn these properties and concepts. The next property is property number 4, and it is saying that, please listen carefully this property. It is complicated. Between the squares of the numbers n and n plus 1, means there are two numbers, first is n and second is n plus 1. There are two n non-perfect square numbers, means there are two numbers n and n plus 1. These are two numbers and you have to find the non-perfect square between these two non-perfect square numbers between these two numbers. For this you have a pattern, that is there are two n non-perfect square. For example, between 4 square and 5 square, you have to find the non-perfect square numbers between 4 square and 5 square. As you know that square of 4 is 16 and square of 5 is 25. Now see, here you can see that 4 is equal to n, means at the place of n here is 4, and the next is n plus 1. N plus 1, n is 4 plus 1, that is equal to 5. See, here it 5. So now you have to find non-perfect square numbers between 4 square and 5 square. N is equal to 4 and the property is saying there are 2n non-perfect squares. So you will multiply this n means 4 by 2, that is equal to 8. So there are 8 non-perfect square numbers between 4 square and 5 square. As you know that square of 4 is 16, so you will count them after 16. So there are 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Now count the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. There are 8 non-perfect square, and see these numbers carefully. These are non-perfect square. Any of these number is not a perfect square. So this property can be used for the large data. Suppose you have to find that you 24 square and 25 square, and you have to tell the means you have to write the non-perfect square numbers between 24 square and 25 squares. So how will you get? For this you have a formula. You will simply multiply this 24 by 2, and that is equal to 24 multiplied by 2 is 48. So you can say that 48 non-perfect square numbers are between 24 square and 25 square. So this property can be used for the large data also. This will be beneficial. Let us move towards the next property, that is property number 5, which is saying that the square of even number is always an even number and the square of an odd number is always an odd number. This is the simplest property. It is simply that if you have 2, then you know that the square of 2 is 4. 2 is an even number, also 4 is an even number. If you have 3 and you have to do the square of 3, then the square of 3 is 9. You know that square of 3 is 9 and 3 is an odd number, also 9 is an odd number. So it is simple that square of an even number is always an even number and square of an odd number is always an odd number. Let us move towards the next property, that is property number 6, which is saying that the square of a natural number ending with 5 means if you have a natural number which is ending with 5, the square of that number follows a definite pattern. Suppose you have 25, the natural number, and here is square of 25. You have to find the square of 25. As you can see that at the end of this natural number is 5. So you will follow this pattern. You know that after 2 you will get 3, means you know that always 3 comes after 2. So you will write 2 multiply by 3 means n, and multiply by n plus 1. 2 multiply by 3 at the 100th place plus this number means always you will add 25. So 2 3s are 6. 6 will come at 100th place, and here is 25. So 25 will comes here. So now the square of 25 is 625. Now you can do the square of 25, means you can multiply 25 by 25. You will get 625. See the next example, that is 45 square. Now you know that 45 square means 4 multiply by the next number of 4 is 5 at 100th place plus you need to add 25. Always you will add 25. Now you know that 4 5s are 20 at 100th place. Now remaining part is 25. So the square of 45 is 2025. Let us move towards the next property, that is saying the sum of first and odd natural numbers is an square. The sum of first n odd natural numbers is n square. Odd natural numbers. Let's see. First odd number is 1. So we are taking the square of 1. Sum of first two odd numbers. As you know that first two odd numbers are 1 and 3. So the sum of first two odd number is 1 plus 3 is equal to 4. That is the square of 2. Sum of first three odd numbers. First three odd numbers are 1, 3 and 5. So 1 plus 3 plus 5. 1 plus 3 plus 5 is equal to 9. Sum of first four odd numbers is 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7. That is equal to 6. Now count the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. It is 4. So the sum of first odd number will be 16. The last will be the answer. Let's see the example. The example is, without adding the sum of first part is 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7 plus 9. Now you can see clearly that all these numbers are odd. 1, 3, 5, 7 and 9. These are the odd numbers and you have to find the sum without adding them. For this, firstly you have to count down the numbers. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 numbers. So you will be simply do the simply square of 5, and you know that square of 5 is 25. So without adding you can tell that the sum of first 5 odd numbers is sum of 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 is 25. Now you can add, you will get 25. See, 3 plus 1 4, 4 plus 5 9, 9 plus 7 plus 9, count 9 plus 7 plus 9, 16, 16 plus 9 is equal to 25. You get the same answer. I hope all of you understand all these properties. Please revise all these properties. These will be used in the exercise, and these will help you to solve the exercise questions. I hope all of you understand by here. Still, if you have any problem, then you can message me and ask. I will take your doubts.